Is there Christian genocide in Nigeria? Are Christians being murdered in Nigeria? Is the government complicit in it? What has the government done about what is happening in Nigeria? The insecurity in Nigeria? Or is the government complicit? Why do Nigerian government find it easy to negotiate with terrorists? Should the West help? What should we be wary of if the West help? Or are they coming to create even more unrest while they sap the natural resources in Nigeria? Let's look at these issues and the number of people who have died over the last few years. The insecurity in Nigeria. This remains the diary of a broken man, where we dissect political, economic, and social issues concerning our country, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole. And as usual, remember to hit that subscribe button, to like, to share, and to leave us a comment. Now, the situation in Nigeria is complex. It's not just an issue to be overlooked. With a report of genocide and persecution of Christians, particularly in the northeast and the north central of Nigeria, with some viewing it as genuine humanitarian crisis, others see it as multiple faceted issues involving resource control, involving politics, and involving ethnic tensions. As they call it, farmer-herder clash. So, is there genocide in Nigeria? First of all, let's look at the death tolls of the number of years back, or this year alone. The number one is that over 200 Christians were slaughtered in Yellow-Water. We are talking about 2025. In July, with reports indicating a coordinated attack by Fulani jihadists. So, are Christians being murdered? In the same time, some Christians were celebrating their, Christ the King. And somebody opened the truck and ran over them. Is it premeditated? Because some Nigerian officials are denying the veracity of what is playing before us. So let's ask the questions with facts now. In 2024, 3,100 Christians were killed and 2,830 kidnapped, according to the 2025 World Watch List by Open Doors. Are Christians being murdered in Nigeria? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Since 2009, over 62,000 Christians, 62,000 human beings, women, men, young people, children, some of them babies, were murdered by Islamist forces, with some estimates suggesting that true figure could be even higher. In some cases, I will be displaying the pictures of some of them so that you'll be seeing it by yourself. Some of them were in the churches, just doing their business in church, praying, and they were slaughtered between the altar and the nave. The priests slaughtered. Some of the priests and seminarians and the pastors have been kidnapped and butchered. Are Christians being murdered in Nigeria? The question will be left for us to answer. I leave it for you to answer, for me to answer. Because the government is denying it. And as usual, somebody said that anything the Nigerian government, especially the APC-led government, is denying is 100% true. In this case, is it true that Christians are being murdered in Nigeria and nobody is saying anything about it? I was appalled and deeply baffled that the Vice President of Nigeria, who was on record for some time for dining with terrorists, people who carried out a coordinated terrorist attack, were found in his house, dining with him. The pictures are there. I will display it for you to see. The current Vice President of Nigeria. And he was in the United Nations the last time. What was he talking about? He left the whole deep-seated issues in Nigeria and was talking about Palestine. So free Palestine is better than the number of people dying in Nigeria every day. Nigerians are the most vulnerable set of individuals in the whole world now. Because why? They have no right to protect themselves. After all, the last person who tried to defend himself is being arraigned and planned to be murdered. Yes, the state is trying so hard to sentence him to death. For doing what? Self-defense. Because some terrorists came to kill him and his family, and he defended himself. That is the man the whole Nigerian state is fighting so hard to jail or to send to the underworld. Is Nigerian Christians safe? The world should hear us. The world should hear us. Are Nigerian Christians safe? Why are Nigerian Christians being targeted? Especially those ones in the north. There is a young man right now making waves for converting to Christianity and being so vibrant about preaching the gospel. And what does he get? Threats. And why is the religion of peace so unhappy when people leave and probably make their choice to join another religion? Because the last I checked, religion is a question of choice. It shouldn't be forced on anybody. It shouldn't, for any reason, be forced on anybody. It is not an intrinsic part of human life. It is just what we do. Call it cultural. That's how I see it. So nobody deserves to die for religion. Nobody deserves to die for any religion, any religious society. Nobody deserves to die. We are first humans before any religion. What made us human is more than religion. And so when you look at these numbers, 62,000 and counting, priests, seminarians, pastors, bishops being murdered between the altar and the nave. I'm not saying there are no other people being murdered. In fact, if you begin to count the number of people being murdered in Nigeria, you lose count. What does the government do about it? Silence. In fact, at the time of Yelawata, the president of Nigeria, the chief security officer of Nigeria, couldn't visit Yelawata. The vice president, who is from the north, couldn't also visit Yelawata. The Senate president couldn't visit Yelawata. In fact, they are rationalizing human life in Nigeria. The world should hear us. Let it not be that we didn't speak. Let the voices of reason rise up in Nigeria and speak. Why are Christians being murdered in Nigeria and the state is defending it? A Nigerian state that finds itself negotiating with terrorists, giving Nigerian uniforms to terrorists. Don't be surprised that our military and the paramilitary has been infiltrated by terrorists. It is not out of place. We have heard voice notes and voice recordings of state officials who support and engineer terrorism. We have seen it. We've seen videos and audio tapes, video calls, voice calls. People who were eager to kill and maim for their religion. So why are Christians being murdered in Nigeria? So let's hear the international response to this. Number one, the United States has previously designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern due to its severe religious freedom violation. The human rights organizations such as the Genocide, Watch and Open Doors have called for increased international attention and action to protect Nigerian Christians. Some lawmakers like Chris Smith, Ted Cruz and so on have raised and advocated for a stronger action, including sanctions and investigations to address these abuses. What is the potential concern? One, resource control. Nigerians' rich natural resources, particularly oil, have contributed to tension and conflict in the nation. Sometimes I don't think this is true. There is an agenda to make Nigeria a state religion. Ethnic and religious tensions. The country's complex ethnic and religious dynamics can make it challenging to address the issues without exacerbating existing tension. The next one, government corruption. Government corruption. Corruption within the Nigerian government and security forces can hinder efforts to protect the vulnerable population and hold perpetrators accountable. And let's not talk about those in the government that sponsor terrorism. The Dubai government or the Emirates government released a list of people who sponsor terrorism in Nigeria. And the sitting president of Nigeria held the list till today. Nobody knows who they are. People who sponsor terrorism. Because tell me how Fulani cattle rearers can afford AK-47, afford high-intensity ammunitions. Tell me how they can afford it. Magnums and some high-caliber weapons. How would they afford it? How will they afford it if somebody in the government is not sponsoring them or getting funds from some other places? Why is it so in Nigeria? And why are Christians being targeted, killed, and the state is saying nothing? Absolutely, as I'm talking to you now, the state is saying nothing about these deaths. The president finds it. In fact, as the people are being killed, the president is jetting off to France or jetting off to Brazil or jetting off to Malta or some other place. The vice president is going on his own. Nobody is even saying anything at all. The world should hear us. The voice of reasoning. Nigerians should speak out. Otherwise, you'll die in pieces. They will come to your house one day because the evil you support and keep quiet about will one day come back to you. Maybe because it's not near your region yet. That's why you are quiet about it. You better speak. Because when it begins, there will not be any escape. You don't have weapons to protect yourself. So what are we going to be wary of? 1, misinformation and bias. 2, oversimplification, as the government is doing. Trying so hard. People like Bayo Onanuga and Daniel Bwala, who has been against the government of APC and all of a sudden found his new voice when he joined APC. Bayo Onanuga and some other state actors who have been so keen on defending the number of people we are seeing every day. We have grown tired of mass burials in Nigeria. The world should hear us. We are tired of mass burials in Nigeria. We are tired of burying children, burying mothers, pregnant women, being burnt alive. We are tired of it. We are tired of mourning. We are tired of mass burial. The world should hear us. So I repeat the question, are Christians being butchered in Nigeria? And why are Christians being butchered? This remains a diary of a broken man, where we dissect political, economic, and social issues concerning our country, Nigeria. And in a mournful tone, I beg you again, join me. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. Are Christians being targeted in Nigeria? Cheers.